Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just spent way too much money buying baits on Black Friday. And one of the baits that I love to throw, and if you've watched the channel at all, you've seen me throw it a ton, is the Megabass Dark Sleeper. And the Dark Sleeper straight up gets bit all the time, right? Any water conditions, anywhere, fishing under docks, fishing out deep, doing whatever. But what I found online on Black Friday were these Savage Gear Structure Gills. Right? So we're going to go underwater today. We're going to compare the Dark Sleeper with the Structure Gill. We're going to see which one looks good, which one looks bad. And hey, if I can get a $2 bait in place of an $8 bait, hey, it could be a really big win for my pocketbook. Let's go underwater and compare them. We'll see.
All right, guys, let's dive right in. Here is the Megabass Dark Sleeper. This is a 3/8 ounce version. This bait is my go-to anytime the water is clear, fish are bottom oriented, or if I'm fishing docks. This is a fantastic smallmouth bait, and the reasons why I like it are: one, position on the bottom, and two, it creates the same water disturbance as a jig, and you can see those puffs on the bottom. So if you're fishing sand flats for smallmouth bass, or you're fishing rock veins, or you're fishing weed clumps, this bait comes through everything, and it also has that amazing secondary action to motion and tail wiggle. The thing I like most about this bait though is it lands upright on the bottom, and that allows it to come through all types of cover, right? Megabass simply made a fantastic lure right here, and I have a lot of trust in this bait. I'd say this bait is tied on to one of the rods on my deck like 90 to 95% of the time. I catch so many fish on it. It's in so many of my videos. I'll link them in here, but I trust the Megabass, one, because, you know, it has great action, two, because it's consistent. Here's the 2-inch version of the Megabass, and I really like this in place of a Ned rig. A lot of times fish see a ton of Ned rigs. This fishes just like a Ned rig, and because of the way that it sits on the bottom, it tends to get bit more often than not. It is a fantastic looking bait, and it does a great job in getting bit.
Remember, fish see a ton of Ned rigs all the time. It's one of the most popular cold water baits they see. So here is the new Savage Gear Gill, Structure Gill, sorry. And it looks a lot like the Megabass. On first look underwater, it tends to lean forward on the drop more than the Dark Sleeper does. So it kind of lands on its nose instead of on its chin, if you will. Like the Dark Sleeper, the action looks great. The bait looks great, and the water looks just like the Dark Sleeper. It's when it hits the bottom that things are different. Here's the slow down version of it. It has a more head-down profile and a more head-down swim. So that makes me wonder if it's going to come through weeds and bottom vegetation good. In rock, probably not going to matter as much. In grass, could matter a lot more. I tend to fish the Dark Sleeper a lot around grass because of the natural lakes that I fish. It could be a small difference. Just looking at it also here, you have a buoyancy difference. The Dark Sleeper is more dense. This bait seems to fall a little bit slower, if you will. Could be good, could be bad. We'll have to see, but right now it's looking really on par with the Dark Sleeper. Here, once again, you see that nice swim. It's got that kind of a blowout at the end, and it's kind of got a little bit of a different kick than the Dark Sleeper. So it's just going to be an experiment in looking at underwater footage. I would see the Dark Sleeper is going to work better around vegetation. They're probably going to work interchangeably around wood or sand or rock cover. Just from that head down profile. I really like the red on this tail right here, and darker or off colored water, that's going to pop more. In terms of swimming the bait, they look really similar, but I do worry about that nose down tilt on the Savage Gear Structure Gill. It just kind of looks different than the Dark Sleeper, and I trust the Dark Sleeper so much because of the way it comes through cover. So I'm really interested to see if that's going to make a huge difference. But eyeballing them both, they look very similar in swim and approach. These baits are very good in clear water. They're very good around docks. Remember, if we're fishing pressure situations where fish see the same jig or the same Senko 100 times a day, this is where I catch most of my fish using this bait. Smallmouth, if you're around them, you're going to be catching them, right? Same thing here with straight up. This is straight winding this bait on the bottom with little rod pops, which is most of the way I fish it in open water. Here you see the Dark Sleeper coming through. You see how it's landing on its chin every time in that upright posture and position. That's what makes the Dark Sleeper as good as it is. Here it is sped up, swimming straight at you. It's got a decent swim bait kick on it. It doesn't have a lot of roll on it for the dark sleeper, but it doesn't need it because it's a bottom contact bait. It's not meant to be swam like a swim bait. It's meant to be fished almost like a jig on the bottom, if you will, and that's where it really excels. So it's interesting to see it in contrast with this sleeper gill. And here is, creeping along the bottom. That's where 9 out of 10 of my bites are going to go. It leaves that nice little trail right there and does a really, really good job of remaining upright in its posture on the bottom as you're hopping it through that zone. It's a great bait.
Here's what it comes in, right? You've got the photo print HD. It's scented. They're carbon steel hooks. They look pretty good. Here's your traditional dark sleeper. So let's get them out and compare. Here's your 2 sizes of dark sleeper that I generally fish, right? The 3-inch and the 2-inch, and they all have different things, but let's get a Savage Gear gill out and compare. So here's that gill, out of the package. It's got a great paint color scheme on it. I really, really like the highlights on the tail. Swimming underwater, it looked pretty good. It settles on the bottom different than the dark sleeper, and you can see that on the underwater footage, but it looks really good out of the package, right? Compared to that dark sleeper, right? It's the same kind of body shape, same tail, same everything. The fin is longer on that. The Megabass loses eyes a lot. This one has painted on eyes. It looks pretty good out of the package though. So we'll have to see, swimming underwater, what it looks like. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed watching the Structure Gill versus the Dark Sleeper underwater. Let us know what baits you want to see us check out underwater. We got a whole bunch more. We got a huge box here of stuff coming up. So let us know in the comment section what types of rigs, what types of lures you want to see underwater. We'll try to get it done for you. We're growing the channel. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We'll see you next time.